I hate that. Good morning.
Good morning.
This is Kim.
This is Andy.
And we're going to read to you from the Urantia book today. And first we're going to read from Light the Flame. And today is April 9th. So we have a brief reading from the Prophet Muhammad. Okay. And this is again, Light the Flame, Andrew Harvey. Okay. Oh God, grace me love of you. Right? Grace me love of you. Give me more love for you.
Mm-hmm.
And give me the grace to love those who love you. And to love whatever brings me nearer to you. Oh God, may your love be more precious to me than cool water to the thirsty. The Prophet Muhammad.
Wow.
So I don't know if this is in the Quran. It might not be in the Quran, but this is a correct quote from Prophet Muhammad. Anything stick out to you there?
Only as someone who has participated in Native American Sundance, water is the most precious thing in life after 4 days without it.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
So I can appreciate that sense.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And in the Arabic cultures too, water is an important part of their, they have ritual washing before prayer, and that's, water is very precious.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I think we'll leave that there. And we'll go ahead and we're reading part 4 of the foreword today, entitled Universe Reality. Okay. All right, I'm going to start. Okay. Reality differentially actualizes on diverse universe levels. Reality originates in and by the infinite volition of the Universal Father and is realizable in 3 primal phases on many different levels of universe actualization. You go. 3 levels of universe actualization coming up.
1. Undeified reality ranges from the energy domains of the non-personal to the reality realms of the non-personable values of universal existence, even to the presence of the unqualified absolute. 2. Deified reality embraces all finite, all infinite. Deity potentials ranging upwards through all realms of personality, from the lowest finite to the highest infinite, thus encompassing the domain of all that which is personalizable, and more, even to the presence of the deity absolute. 3. Interassociated reality. Universe reality is supposedly either deified or undeified, but to sub-deified beings there exists a vast domain of interassociated reality, potential and actualizing, which is difficult of identification. Much of this coordinate reality is embraced within the realms of the universal absolute.
Okay, so what does all that mean to you,
That's
dear?
a really good question. I'm a bit lost in reading all of that. I guess the words stand on their own, but...
Okay, so we're talking about 3 levels here of universe reality. Okay, so undeified reality, energy domains, non-personal, and reality realms of the non-personalizable. So this is material that's not capable of being godlike. Okay, it's undeified.
Everything but.
It's So here, a doorknob. Here, inanimate objects. Here, no matter what happens to these glasses, they're not going to be capable of observing themselves as glasses. See?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
See, and when we talk about AI like that, okay, like humans are creating all this AI. That's interesting to me. And is that it's not personalizable. It's not capable of understanding that it is a robot.
It can be programmed to have personality characteristics, but it can't be self-aware.
It can't be self-aware.
Right.
Because that's something that's in the reflectivity aspect of creation. I think that only that's a gift from the Father.
It can't conceive of something higher than itself.
It can't. Okay, it's just a collection of algorithms.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
No matter how we're projecting all these characteristics upon it, it's not going to do that. And that's important to me. And I don't even know why, but I get freaked out by all these AI movies, like The Matrix and stuff, and the Terminator one that gets me, and I always think, oh my God, that's so wrong. Or, and the new generation is so fascinated, intrigued by this possibility that they see that they can, you know what I mean? Here, I'm getting way off the topic here, but so that's what that is. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever it is, it's not capable of, because it won't have the thought adjuster, and it won't have,
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So then deified reality, okay, embraces, us, all of these things that deity is infused with or capable of infusing with.
Right.
Okay, or that whole infusion is a potential. Okay, right.
But isn't that a bit of a narrow range? That would just be humans, right? Or human-like creatures.
Human-like creatures. Yeah.
But not those life forms below humans that don't.
Right, and even okay, deified, but it's deified reality. It's not, we're not really talking about deified beings. So deified reality is another reality that we experience. Okay? It's a type of way of perceiving all of reality. It's something that we can, and when because we are endowed with creative capacity, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when we observe something like the double slit experiment or whatever here,
mm-hmm.
we're capable of altering that reality.
Well, what about a bird that builds a nest? That's creating.
Talk about that here in the seven adjutant mind spirits here. Okay, but still a bird that's based on an instinct. A robot could create a nest, but it would not be aware of why it's doing it. The bird feels like creating a nest, but she doesn't even know she's pregnant. She doesn't even know why she's doing it. It's just like nature is just telling her, okay, it's time to do this.
She's programmed too.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's been an interesting question whether some very intelligent animals are capable of being deified. And I don't know. I don't think that's a clear line. Either you're human or you're not. I think that some humans, like sociopaths, if you have a human body, heaven doesn't recognize you as human unless you have this potential of being deified.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. On the other hand, some rescue animals that seem very conscious and very in close relation with their human companions, and will choose to go into a fire to rescue the child of their own volition, right? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You wonder if on some level that is not deifiable potential. I don't know the answer to that.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
So, and you have to remember, and Infanta were not classically human-like figures. It says they were lemurs, which is like kind of like a sub monkey. Very cute, huge eyes, but So
we're trying to identify a deified level here.
Yeah, that's deified level. Now, interassociated reality, okay, I think is where there is some overlap here. I don't know. This is where it gets confusing. And it says that this is difficult of identification. So where there exists a vast domain of interassociated reality, potential, and actualizing, which is difficult of identification. So this is probably where these beings haven't made the decision yet where I'm going to accept this thought adjust or I'm going to drive it away from me. You know,
It might be a bit beyond our awareness or purpose, or it's just out there. You're saying.
Well, it's just well, like last night.
This is just saying it so that we're aware that there's more out there. Right?
I think there's more out there. Universe reality is supposedly either deified or undeified, but to sub-deified beings. This level only exists to sub-deified beings. So beings that have not, or I don't know, sub-deified. That to me that says maybe you have potential to be deified, but you're not. Haven't experienced that. You don't know what that is. So they see, and this is how they're experiencing reality. They're seeing, it looks like all mixed up to them. It looks like one thing.
Would this be humor if I were to say, I think I know some people?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
No, this totally on point.
Okay.
Sure. Or we talked about here, Bob the drugstore cowboy. Right. Who's probably approaching that level here, but then here you get to this 0 point. To him, you know, cops or druggies they're all the enemy except his little reality.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Because that guy Dave is trying to steal from him, and then the cops are trying to get him. They're all against him. His own mom is against him. Everything's against him. So there's only me and my drugs, and everybody else is right. Okay, so that's there. See, everything else is all mixed up together. Whether it's trying to help him or hurt him, it doesn't know the difference until you reach this point of clarity, which we talked about, like this point 0, where all of a sudden, you know, I see the difference between the people that are trying to help me and the people that are trying to hurt me. It's clear. I see it. And then you make a decision. You can make that clear decision and decide undeified or deified. Where am I going to try to reside? Which reality do I want for myself? You know, and there's attraction for both. I mean, and we're choosing deified, so we don't understand that. But somebody at that point does feel attraction for both.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Let's move on.
Okay, let's move on. That was a diatribe on that point. Okay. This primal concept of original reality. The Father initiates and maintains reality. This is the primal concept of original reality. The Father initiates and maintains reality. The primal differentials of reality are the deified and the undeified, the deity absolute and the unqualified absolute. The primal relationship is the tension between them. So yesterday we talked about the deity absolute and the unqualified absolute as being like yin and yang, potential and actuality. This Father-initiated divinity tension is perfectly resolved by and eternalizes as the universal absolute. From the viewpoint of time and space, reality is further divisible as actual and potential, realities existing in fullness of expression in contrast to those which carry undisclosed capacity for growth. That's us, undisclosed capacity for growth, okay? The eternal Son is an absolute spiritual actuality. Mortal man is very largely an unrealized spiritual potentiality.
Hopefully.
Well, actually, yeah, that's true. No, that's, we are, well, there's hope in the potential that we can actualize this potential. And faith in that too. Right?
Right.
Right. Okay. Absolute and sub-absolute. Absolute realities are eternity existences. Sub-absolute realities are projected on two levels: absonites, realities which are relative with respect to both time and eternity, and finites, realities which are projected in space and are actualized in time.
Hmm.
Okay, do we understand that?
Well, I think so.
Okay.
The first would be an example of truth,
Or the thought levels, right?
or certain academic disciplines that provide factual information.
Okay,
Those
yeah.
are always true.
These absonites are realities that are relative with respect to both time and eternity.
In other words, they were present and true before we discovered them or were able to articulate them. They were
Right.
there.
Right. Like
They
my
were
favorite
always there.
my favorite example is freedom. I don't know why,
It was
but
always
yeah,
there. It was all the potential was always
the
there
potential's always there.
until we actualized it by naming it and recognizing it.
Recognizing it, well, that it's relative, that some people have more freedom and other people have less freedom. Right? There's relatives, because
Right.
those absonate potentials, those are what does it say again? Relative with respect to time and eternity. So there will always be freedom, but there are always going to be
less.
more freedom or less freedom.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. And finites are realities that are projected in space and are actualized in time. So those are potentials like you like a tree, a seed, okay, can grow into a tree. So when I have the seed of an oak tree, I'm thinking I have this here and I know it's a baby oak tree, but that's not what it is. That's not what's in my hand right now. But when I put it in the ground, that will actualize throughout time. So that's a finite reality. Finite, but it's a changing, developing, evolving reality.
I think another example would be an idea that's planted in our civilization
Okay.
that did not exist before that planting, but once implanted has the potential to grow into a civilization changing momentum.
Like democracy.
Right. Or a world beyond war.
Okay, absolutely. Okay, very good. Okay, existential and experiential. Paradise deity is existential, but the emerging supreme and ultimate are experiential. Okay, so that makes sense, right? Any question there? I don't have any. Okay, personal and impersonal. Deity expansion, personality expression, and universe evolution are forever conditioned by the Father's free will act, which forever separated the mind, spirit, personal meanings, and values of actuality and potentiality, centering in the eternal Son from those things that which center and inhere in the eternal Isle of Paradise. Okay, so we're separating the things, things that are attracted to the eternal Son, like the Creator Son, like Jesus, right? Because the eternal Son is the Father of Jesus, right? And the things that's personal and impersonal are objects, things that are not personal, that gravitate towards the bottom side of the Isle of Paradise. Okay? Right. Paradise is a term inclusive of the personal and non-personal focal absolutes of all phases of universe reality. Paradise, properly qualified, may connote any and all forms of reality: deity, divinity, personality, and energy, spiritual, mindal, or material. All share paradise as the place of origin, function, and destiny as regards values, meanings, and factual existence. So paradise is where everything is focalized.
Mhm.
Is the natural focal point of everything in existence. Okay.
Example being gravity.
Well, gravity is a physical manifestation of that attraction.
Mhm.
Yeah, but there's different kinds of gravity. There's spirit gravity. There's mind gravity.
Mhm. Right.
Right. So there's these different things. It's like, you know, when you're in a room with a very charismatic person,
Mhm.
right? Your attention is just drawn to that, and you want to, you know, listen, hear that person and understand that person.
Same for a very spiritual person.
Yes, exactly.
Mhm.
Right.
Right.
And then there's an intellectual level that's governed by the infinite spirit, which is about who has the most information, who's the most intelligent, who can help me
Mhm.
actually succeed in physical aspects of my existence. Right. So I'm drawn to that energy because the Holy Spirit is kind of like the interface between the spiritual and the material, the mind.
Mhm.
Okay, this is just okay, and I don't know. I don't want to like say that I'm right about all these things. I don't know. I just say what comes to my head to me
Mhm.
as I'm okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Right.
All right. Do you want to take the last two paragraphs,
Sure.
Andrew?
Isle of Paradise.
Mm-hmm.
Paradise, not otherwise qualified, is the absolute of the material gravity control of the first source and center. Paradise is only state of universes. The Isle of Paradise, universe location, but no position in space. Wow.
Isn't that nuts?
Well, it's out there, but
It's,
don't bother to go looking for
it
it.
has an address, but you can't get there. You can't get there until you're evolved to the. So it's got no. Yeah. Okay. It's wild. Okay.
I'll read that again. The Isle of Paradise has a universe location, but no position in space. The eternal,
This
this eternal isle is the actual source of the physical universes, past, present, and future. That's huge.
This is the source of all being. Resides right here in paradise with the three first persons of deity. Right.
The nuclear Isle of Light is a deity distance,
Deity derivative.
but it is not. But it is hardly deity. Neither are the material creations part of deity. They are a consequence.
Consequence of deity.
Paradise is not a creation. It is a unique controller of many universe activities, far more of a controller than a reactor. Though for the material universe, throughout the material universes, paradise influences the reaction and conduct of all beings, having to do with force, energy, and power. But paradise itself is a unique, exclusive, and isolated in the universes. Paradise represents nothing, and nothing represents paradise. It is neither a force nor presence. It is just paradise. Wow.
Wow. Okay.
We'll let you think about that.
Yeah, I think we could leave that there for now.
Right.
Okay. So next time we'll be on part 5.
Next time from Minneapolis. Goodbye from Chicago.
Yeah, goodbye from Chicago. See you. Bye.
Bye.